Okay, I'm pretty sure these are real, and I don't know where they came from. People send me a lot of things. I'm just going to squirt it out there. But what I want you to pay attention to is the different types of material in the bone. Even though they look like the same bone, there is different types of materials on the eyebrows and the ridges and in between the nose and the chin and all that. Now let's look a little deeper because it gets pretty interesting. Now, anybody who's been around me knows that I do all kinds of stuff. So we're going to be talking about new engineered human species. We're going to be talking about physics and everything. The new muon, which I knew about 5 years ago. I was showing, and I actually show the muons. I show them attaching and detaching. I show what CERN wants to see. I show them why they wobble and spin. I'm going to show you all this stuff. So let's take it from here. You see that? These are deformities, well, quite obviously. But something invaded the bone here, it looks like to me. Something ate away at the structural integrity of that bone long or early, let's put it that way, in the development of this creature, whatever it is. Because I'm telling you, the bone plates normally fuse with all of these little squiggly lines, and something happened here. Whether or not he didn't, I don't know. I don't want to speculate. I have no idea. But that's that's not really actually normal. All right, now, like I said before, if you want to do research with me, you're just going to do it with me. We're going to just muddle through things. Now, I showed you skulls, and I will show you some more skulls, and some of them were deformed. This one isn't deformed that I can say, but I want you to look at this. You see, this is the pattern of how these bone plates fuse together. The other one you saw had a thing going up like this. Now, is that a crown or is that normal? But now, look at this. Here's what I want you to pay attention to. There's different little places on the eyebrows and right up here where they fuse together and around the eye sockets and the nose, and wherever there's like an edge, there's going to be some difference in either the chemistry there or the way it fuses and so forth. Now, this is a smooth structure. It doesn't have any little pock marks, like you know how you have eyebrows and so forth. They're going into something. Now, your hair, you have hair, but it's a scalp. The eyebrows are a little different. They're well, I don't know if they're not. I'm just sort of guessing at this point. But I can tell you what. Let me show you why I'm guessing this way, because I can see where there's certain types of. There's got to be some type of mineral that exists almost everywhere. I'm going to show you, except in the cranial cap here. Hold on. Now you see here, you see how the skull cap? There's nothing there. Everywhere else, this looks like, to me, I would call that calcification, which means that you start with calcium seeds, which are way over here, calcium, and they keep building up like. I don't know whether they're adding other minerals to it and so forth, but you start out with some sort of seed. And that's why it's not coming from here. Something is not making it, is stopping it from growing out of here, or is not allowing it to grow out of here, or it doesn't want to grow out of here. It's not the right chemistry. But here it is. And you can see it right around all of these different areas, like the edges of the bones, like I was talking about, eyebrows and all that. These are obviously the eye sockets, and there appears to be red blood. There looks other bone parts, or I don't know what's going on here. I don't know where this came from either. People send me these things from all over, but that looks to me like calcification. And this is a process of being in a very watery situation. Then it's all chemistry. Let's say this was in extremely fine water for a long period of time. It's called nucleophilic invasion. It tries to it tries to stabilize. Now, if it's in with a bunch of other little creatures that can eat it and everything, well, it decays and goes away. If it's stuck in the mud originally, and it gets completely sealed in that mud as its original shape and body and tissues and all that stuff, some of it will erode, yes. But in the mud fossils, it doesn't even erode. It separates. Like this is a goose head. That's a goose head. There's the feathers. And there's the goose's head. There's his beak. But you don't see anything other than this tissue, which is the same thing that's on your skin and everything else. It's exactly the same fabric. They call it feldspar. There's the throat. And it died laying like this in a flood. They all died in a flood, the stuff I have. You see it's flat like this and like that. And after it's stabilized over long, long periods of time, and eventually when I don't know, maybe somebody picked it up and it snapped, or I picked it up and it snapped, I don't know. It all came out of my backyard. I got so much stuff. And then the bones, they do the same thing. And this is what they call a periosteum, the outside coating, the tunica. You can still see where the blood vessels were, where the bone foramen and the ligament attachments and the cartilage, and I mean, it's everything. And that's all that's left of the bone is that little piece right there. You got to look at it in a microscope even to see it. And that's what happens in the mud fossils. They transition. It's because the mud encases it, and then it says, well, what do you want to do? I said, well, find some other chemistry that attaches to me that we can stay attached and not fall apart and rot. And our water, they call aqueous ionic solutions. They have all kinds of different transition metals in them and different minerals and things, and that finds the molecule that wants to attach to it. Now, that's just what it is. I'm going to be doing a video, a Zoom today, I believe. I'll put some details in the header, and please join me. It's going to be 2 o'clock Eastern time. It's about noonish, a little after noon. So around 2 o'clock Eastern time, and I will have the link to it in the body. Thanks. Okay, this is going to be a great day. This is when the Atlantean Empire attacked. Robert Seffer, great guy, does great work. This, I just showed you those skulls. I don't know, you take it from there. But we're going to be talking about, he's doing some fabulous work. And it's time to open this up. We have to talk about it as a group, as a forum, as a entity that it comes in mass now, because one guy here, one guy there, it doesn't work. Nobody pays any attention. As far as I know, everybody's saying something, everybody's got a little something to say, but it's got to be all put together from what he's doing. He's starting to talk about the Titans and all that stuff, because that's where it started. I don't care what you say now. I have found the things, dragons and giants, and I've had them DNA tested and everything else. So don't tell me this is all silly. It's silly to avoid it. All right? Let's close the case.